and today I want to talk to you about F1, F2 scenario, or otherwise known as the student dependent or dependent scenario in the United States. So if you're an international student and you want to come to the United States, or perhaps you have your admission already and you are going to be granted a visa type, which is the F1 visa or the student visa. And if you have dependents, maybe you have a wife or a spouse, as the case might be, or a husband, so that's why I said a spouse, and you have a child or you have children, you as the primary applicant is going to be on the F1 visa or the student visa, and your dependent or dependents, as the case may be, would be on F2 visa. So today I'm going to be sharing with you, how this works, everything about this visa type. So let's talk about what happens when you have an F1 visa. What's the situation like? What's it going to be like, in the university and all those stuff, and life in the United States. So when you're coming to the United States as an F1 visa, you need to understand, on an F1 visa, you need to understand that you are not eligible to work in the United States. Your visa type only permits you to work inside the school in which you have been admitted. So if you're a student visa, you can only work in the school. Now, the type of work you can do in the school varies. So you can teach, if you have a good experience or if you have good academic track record, you can teach. That's a teaching assistantship. You can be a graduate assistant. You can be a research assistant. You can be a reader or grader. You can work in the school canteen, work in the student union, take administrative position. You can work as a front desk in a department. The roles vary across the university, so there are a lot of work you can do. But the most important thing is that you cannot work full-time. Full-time is 40 hours per week. So if you're on F1, you can only work part-time, and you're only allowed to work in 7 days or a week for maximum of 19.5 hours in a week. So in 7 days, you're only allowed to work for 19.5 hours. So you should know that. Now, can you work beyond 19.5 hours? No, you can't. Otherwise, you'll be breaking the law. Now, outside the school, can you work? No, you cannot. So I will talk about that because there are some scenarios where people are allowed to work outside the school, and I'll talk about that in a bit. But the basic thing you need to know is that you can only work in the school, within the school premises, not within the school premises, within the school confinement, like you're working in an institution. So you're getting paid by the institution. You can only work 19.5 hours per week. Now, after you have completed 3 quarters or one round of academic year, that is the only time you are eligible to do internship or to work outside the school. And the way this works is that you need permission to do that. You need to obtain something called CPT approval, which is the curricular practical training. So you need approval from a faculty in your department or in your school, and from the international office for you to be eligible to do the CPT or to do internship. But you can only do it after you have completed 1 year or 3 quarters equivalent of academic year. So you can do internship full time over summer, and you can work 40 hours per week or more than that, but you need permission to do that. That is only in summer. You can either choose to work full-time or part-time. Now, if you want to extend maybe you like the company you're working with and you think you're going to benefit a lot from the experience you're getting there, you can extend this CPT after summer, but you need permission from the international office. So you can extend your CPT or your internship, as the case might be, as a part-time worker. So you can work as a full-time, you can only work as part-time. So after your internship has been completed, so after your 3-month internship, you can decide to extend your internship on a part-time basis based on the arrangement with the organization, and you need permission to do that. So that is the scenario. Can you do anything outside the school, maybe work in a restaurant or do Uber or whatever? You can. You're not permitted to do it. So if you have any clarification, if you need any clarification about your work situation and all those stuff, you need to contact your international office. Now let me roll to the F2. Well, dependent. You have a wife or a husband or dependent. They are not eligible to work at all. So they are dependent. They are depending on your income. So they can't work. They can't do anything legally in the United States. So if you're coming to the United States, you need to understand this. They cannot obtain an SSN, and some banks open bank account for them if they obtain a tax ID, but most banks will not allow you to open a bank account even without the tax ID. So you can't do anything. You will not be able to rent an apartment because they need your SSN, background check and all those stuff. So you basically are handicapped, so to speak. So you can't do anything if you're the spouse of a F1 visa holder. So if you're coming on F2, you need to understand that you're only coming to support your spouse. So you are depending on the income, the 19.5 hours per week of your spouse or the primary applicant. So just for you to know that. But are you just going to come to the United States to be looking for, maybe your spouse is doing a master's degree, which is 2-year program, or a PhD, which is 4, 5, 6 years program? You're just going to be there. Yeah, legally that's the way it's supposed to be. So you need to think about it before you come. So what can you do if you're an F2 holder? We can talk about that in subsequent videos. So I make videos on how to actually go about admission, talk about visa application and anything concerning international students and credit admission. So you should subscribe and like, and if you have any question concerning what we're discussing today, just wait in the comment section. I'll be happy to answer those questions. So see you around in other videos. Subscribe, like, and share with someone who might need this video. All right, bye. Cheers.